Hey guys, Jason Barry here. Today my job kind of got postponed due to lack of material at the wholesale place, so we're taking the little John boat out and trying to catch some sand brim with a cast net and maybe some snook and redfish on the ultralight rods. It's all going to be shallow water and then fishing potholes on this low tide. The tides are looking pretty good. I think it's about 9:30 right now. Low tide is going to be at like 11 or 11:30, just under a negative tide, probably like a negative 0.2, so it should be really good for these pothole fishing. I don't know if the sand brim will necessarily be in there, but it should have some redfish and snook anyway. Check back on the water.
It's a lot lower than I was expecting. I made the executive decision just to come out and do some fun fishing, check out the spots. A couple of ducks, man. Over yesterday we'd be blasting, but the sandbar's way out, so I think I'm gonna have to ditch the boat and walk up to my spot anyway. So I'll at least just do some scouting for later on. It's pretty windy today, or else I was gonna bring the drone out and get some cool video of that too. Maybe next time. I'm sure we'll get another good weather window next week or something.
Well, we're walking from here. We made it a pretty good ways through and don't really have that much further to walk it. Boat's still floating. Really nice. Just a little bit too shallow to run. There's all these piles of moss that clog up in the motor anyway. Even if it was a little bit deeper to run, it would be picking all that up. But we only got to walk another 100 yards maybe, and the boat's still floating pretty good, so it's easy. Whew. Man, talk about wore out. Just taking a little breather here before I get up in the hole so I don't spook anything. A little bit of water. Catch my breath. We got about, I don't know, 50 more yards. Should be in the home stretch, only a little bit of shallow water. Even if we got to leave the boat right here, it ain't no big deal. It's a pretty good walk from way out there, pushing through that shallow stuff, but this is when all the fish are stacked up in there. If I could have gotten out earlier, I probably could have ran into here before it got low and then had the tide go out and fish it and then come back out on the incoming, but this is when we got it. This hole out here is just nothing but limestone rock that sticks up, not super high, but it sticks up pretty good. It's probably a little over waist deep right now, and when all that out there is 5-6 inches, then fish got to come into here to hang out on that low tide. It's kind of like a creek that comes through here, which is pretty neat. We just had a front last night, so things might be a little bit slower today. It had been 85 degrees for 3 or 4 days anyway. I mean, we were sweating. But I think it's probably around 65 degrees right now. Hopefully things will still be eating. I know they like to eat right before the front. It might be a little bit harder today, but I'm sure we'll get something. Can start to see some of that limestone rock sticking out. There's a lot of it right in here and a little bit just a little bit further out. On that side, it's real sandy, but at least out to the middle over here, I can see some dark shadows of the limestone rock. And redfish a lot of times will get in here and stick their head up underneath one of them, like a grouper. Even though they can't fit their whole body, they'll lay up next to it and think they're hidden. This water's still kind of tannic from all the rain that we've been having. So maybe it's not as cold yet. Try one more time and then I'll probably get the boat and move it back up into this other flat. See if we can see anything running through here while we're going. Oh, there he is. Little Snook. Man, he's real clean for the water being so tannic. I know a lot of people think that this trolling motor is overkill. It's off my big boat. I just got a release bracket, that way I didn't have to buy a separate trolling motor. I can just throw this one back and forth. Works out nice. I got spot lock and remote steering so I can run it from the back of the boat, or if I get out I can drive the boat away from me and then come back if I needed to. Anchor mode. It's sweet. See all them rocks I was talking about? There's a big spadefish. I've only seen a couple of smaller sheepshead run through that big spadefish. There's a couple small sheepshead. Some more baby sheepshead. Tons and tons of babies. There's a little baby redfish. Other than that, just sheepsheads. Well, there might be another something a little bit longer running off over there. I couldn't tell what it is though. Man, there's a whole school of little baby tilapia. That's crazy. Giant school of babies. All that rain that we just had must have pushed them out of the creeks. And I guarantee you that's the reason why it's so dark in here still. Nice deep hole right here in the middle. This is all sandy here, no rock in this part. And I don't think there's any rock up there either. But boy, it is shallow. Let's go ahead and walk on down to the next hole. It ain't far enough to run, but I'll have to walk around this little hole right here. It's just right on that corner over there on the tip of the bush. Bunch of tilapia. Big old blue crab right here too. Nice blue crab. That was a pretty spoonbill right there, roseate spoonbill. Those are always nice to see. It's one of my favorite birds. I see a ton of them up in here and then up in the river as well. I'm getting kind of skeptical because I haven't really seen much fish. And now that I say that, I just seen a nice redfish swim off behind me. Maybe they're up in a little bit shallower water. I think that tide's coming in, and so they might be getting friendly. But I've only seen one baby red and that one big redfish there and 2 small snook. So we'll see how it goes. Another blue crab. That one's much smaller. Drops off right up here, right along the shoreline, and there's just like a little ditch. Maybe there's another redfish or a snook hanging out in there. A lot of times you find the small redfish and there'll be a pretty decent school of them. Sometimes you can get 10 or 20 of them in one little hole. Well, it's definitely pretty skinny, so I'm going off by foot now. I'll leave the boat here. Got me a little soda, my fishing pole. I'm not going to worry about doing the shrimp. Let's take this little soft plastic and see what we see. I more or less just want to explore and see what's in there. We got a little bit of a walk. Another little deep trough right in here. I've seen redfish in there before. Look at these minnows, it's so shallow. They're jumping up on the grass. That's what all them ibis over there are eating. That and little crustaceans inside. You see the water is starting to come back in. So I'll have some more water to get out of here in a little bit. Bunch of white pelicans way out there. Man, it's so dark in here. I can see the bottom, but it'd be hard to spot fish. Hopefully I'll just be able to see the rocks. Ooh, so I don't trip. I've seen everything from flounder, snook, redfish. I don't know if I've seen any trout up in this part. I've seen them up in the front section. But I've seen, big redfish, 30+ inch redfish. Little blue crab right there. Another little blue crab. I had my girlfriend one year came up in here and actually caught a small Goliath grouper. Just right up in this corner where it opens up a little bit more. Still same depth of water, which was pretty neat. I've seen mangrove snapper. I've seen it absolutely slapped full of mullet. Thousands and thousands and thousands of mullet. This creek's always been pretty neat to me. Another blue crab, man. All the blue crabs are up in the creeks. That one's a little bit better size. Not like the one that we seen earlier, but a little bit better than these last two. Man, with all the freshwater species that I've seen so far, there's liable to be a gator in here. Flushing out with all the tilapia. I don't think I've ever seen tilapia in this creek, actually. Oh, there's another school of tilapia. Speaking of them, a lot of little glass minnows. Man, that's a pretty little bluebill being way back up in here. I've seen some mega snooks in here too. I know it's shallow and it's skinny, but they do get in here. that tide's rising, maybe the fish will be real comfortable and they'll start eating. I know it's definitely warm enough in the day right now. They should be sneaking up in the shallow, dark water, or on top of the dark bottom anyway. They warm up a little bit. I might have to slow this lure down and just drag it on the bottom. I was kind of hoping to see some more fish before I started doing that though. Just kind of working it fast now just to cover some ground. If I start seeing a redfish or two come by me, then I'll start slowing down. You see these big limestone rocks. Not really enough for them to get underneath, but they will definitely lay next to it. Another little blue crab. He's only about that big. Oh, he's gonna fight me. Ooh. Come on. Little snooks, I think. Come on. Got him. Finally. He's a little bit darker. Much darker fins. Oh, another short strike. I found this a little school of baby snooks. Oh boy. Well, I'll rig this a little bit different. Tired of it getting folded up on itself. We ain't gonna be anywhere close to weedless, but at least I won't have to fix it every cast. They'll have to eat it a little better though. There he is. Inhaled it. These little guys are aggressive. And that bait's, I guess it's not too bad for them, but well, I might have got the secret. Breaking it a little bit more open. Because they're hitting it. This guy hit it and I missed him, and then he hit it again. So I think that's the ticket. Then not have it fold up on itself. And how in the world that thing hooked back in how it was supposed to. It's almost ready to rock again. Crazy. And there's a whole pile of them in there. This one's fighting the best yet. He was swiping at it. I got him hooked underneath the jaw. Man, I wish I'd have done this earlier. I've only fixed this stupid lure about 50 times. Oh. Well, there's 4 or 5 snook out of that spot. Not too bad. Oh, another hit. Oh, I'm in the rocks. Ooh. Pretty little snooks. Man, that wind blowing on my wet hand makes me feel like I made the right decision by bringing the waders. Because it is chilly. I did see a hit up here, and when we were coming through earlier, I seen a nice fish take off out of there. I don't know if it was a snook or a red. That's a pretty good swipe. Come on. He hit it twice. chasing it. No swiping though. Oh, there he is. I have to say, this little Z-Man is working out pretty good. Caught all these snook on that one bait. Come on. Yep. Oh. We got a trout. That's the first trout I've ever caught way back in here. Come on. Looks like his jaw. He's gone. We are pretty far back in this creek from the harbor to be seeing a trout. That's pretty neat. Not that I usually don't target trout. I still kind of see, it's kind of neat to see them where they're not supposed to be, or where they're typically not anyway. GoPro battery finally died. I think I only caught another couple snook after that trout, which you guys seen. Finally hoofed it back to the boat because it's getting kind of late. I still got to pick up Nick from school. Boat's still there, still hanging out. Trolling motors holding it perfectly. I don't think we got very much more water since I parked it. Maybe about an inch. A little bit, but not much. That north wind is really keeping it out of here. We'll have to probably push back through this other little cove, about 200-300 yards, and then we'll be able to run again. But it's always a fun trip out here. Seen a couple of decent snook, 24, maybe 25 at the biggest. I think only like 1 or 2 redfish, not very much on reds. I think I'm gonna try it in another month or so. When this water clears up, be able to see a lot more, and maybe some more fish will push into there. But I'm gonna ride on out. Just idle through here and see what I see, I guess. Don't know if I'll necessarily fish them or not. There's just so much floating grass coming through there, it's so hard to find, but it is cool to see them. Stingray. There's a lot of, I don't know if that's grass or fish. Mostly grass. That looks like a redfish right there. Or a snook. Oh well. We'll come in and get them another day. Oh, that's a big mullet. Little redfish. Some sheep's head. See if we can't run this joker. we made it back to the ramp. Hopefully I can clip together enough of those small fish to make this this video worthwhile to watch anyway. I always enjoy it. Doesn't matter how big they are. It's still pretty fun. I like to explore back in there. Just one of those things that I don't really get to do that often, or I don't do anyway. I'm gonna hopefully try to. I always love fishing the early or the late part of winter, early part of spring. We start getting some nice clear water, and redfish and snook like that, you can kind of do a lot of sight fishing with them. If we get the right tides and the right conditions, I might go out one morning and try for some tailing redfish. You need that low incoming water and kind of overcast earlier in the morning. If it's overcast, they'll tail all day, but if it's they do a lot better on that low incoming early in the morning. But I might go out and try for that. Been thinking about it for a while, so might give her a shot. Appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you guys like this style of video. Just trying to change it up a little bit and get a little bit more content out there for you. This is always stuff that I like to do. Love exploring the mangroves. Wish we had a little bit more water to get a little bit further back there with the boat. Maybe on that incoming water, them redfish might have pushed up in there a little bit earlier. But I know once probably another couple, 3 or 4 weeks, I know those redfish are going to be in there. If we get a hard freeze in February, or at least a really good cold front and some of that low water, they're going to push into there, and then maybe we'll be able to catch them then. All right, we'll see ya.